We're spending our first few days here in the Vaud Alps, directly above Lake Geneva. It was surprisingly easy to get here by train. It took just over 2 hours from Geneva and it hugged the edge of the lake, so there were some incredible views.
So today we were in Leysin. It was downhill mountain biking followed by paragliding. Pretty scary stuff. I didn't quite realise how gnarly the downhill bit would feel, but I went for it. I'm not going over any jumps or anything steep though, okay? Jenny can do that.
I really liked the motion of the berms, so like the rhythm that played out was awesome.
So after mountain biking, we hot-footed it up to the top of the mountain to go paragliding. That was probably, of everything we were going to do in this trip, the thing that I found the scariest. And it was like the second thing we did. And suddenly we're just floating over the Swiss Alps. And really cool to be following Jenny.
We went so close to the rock face, and then really loved that we spotted birds of prey. It was over really quickly though, and I'd like to do it again.
Finally, it's the end of the day, and we are in a place called Pâquier-Mottier. There are about 2 buildings. It's just so gorgeous. And we are about to go to sleep in a load of hay.
Waking up on a farm in the mountains in Switzerland was such a beautiful experience. You're just away from it all. The Mottier family had put on a great breakfast spread for us. What was cool was obviously all the produce there was all from their farm. The cheese, the yogurt, fresh eggs.
Nicholas runs a biodynamic farm, and this morning was all about making cheese, the L'etivaz cheese that he's been making for centuries. It was like I'd gone back in time. There was Nicholas in his kitchen with this huge cauldron and this fire, and then he was heating up the milk to a certain temperature and then turning it, and then it started to become thicker. It had to be not too wet and not too dry, and then it would be ready to go on to the next step. It was absolutely fascinating. And I couldn't have predicted what would happen during a cheese-making day. I had a milk bath, and apparently it's really good for your skin. So I've managed to tick off spa treatment within cheese making. My skin feels great though. So this is something that families or couples can do. They can come to the farm, spend a night or 2 or however long they want there, hike to the co-op where the cheeses are all kept and aged and taken care of before they're sold. I've learned so much today. If you come from a city like me, you forget how nature just does its own thing, and if we as humans just work with nature, you can really see some incredibly beautiful results. We started off today in Les Diablerets to do Via Ferrata. I literally had no idea what that was before today.
So the Via Ferrata was a bit like climbing. It's metal staples in the wall and metal wire cable that you hold on to. I took on board all the instructions that we were given from Jeremy. Jeremy was brilliant. You had 2 carabiners, you clip them basically from section to section as you went. So you would never ever fall that far, but the slippiness and the loose cable element really caught me off guard. I think Hersha knew that I was quite nervous because I suddenly went really quiet, and she looked at me and was like, wait a minute, you're meant to be like the brave one.
You get this kind of access that you wouldn't usually get. And it's pretty high intensity. It's the kind of access you'd get if you're an experienced climber, but because you've got these ledges, these staples, and feel like you're safely strapped in, we managed to do some of the stuff that, that I would never imagine that I'd be able to do.
After that first section, it was a little bit drier, there was nice rock holds, and I felt like I improved in what I was doing. And I'm really glad that I carried on and I wouldn't have got to the waterfall, which I absolutely loved. Too, it was like this gem of a prize at the end of the trail. Hence why the route is called de la Cascade, meaning waterfall. Then we had the opportunity to go up Glacier 3000 all the way to the top, 2 gondolas, and then we were at this incredible bridge, which was completely foggy when we first got there, and then it cleared as we got to the entranceway. Definitely could feel that we were at a very high altitude. But again, amazing views, all the mountainous area around. Really, really enjoyed that experience.